Welcome everyone to today's webinar on supercharging your data strategy with Microsoft Purview Data Catalog. I'm excited to be here and share how you can leverage Microsoft Purview to enhance your data governance, discovery, and management. Right, so let's dive in. So before we begin, a quick introduction about me. My name is Prateek Nilkund, and I specialize in data governance and compliance with certifications across multiple platforms. I have worked extensively on data management strategies and governance solutions. Today, I'll be guiding you through how Microsoft Purview can transform your data ecosystem. So let's have a quick look at the agenda for today. Uh, we'll start with why organizations need a data catalog. Um, then we'll move on to what a data catalog is and how it works. Um, Thirdly, we'll look at, we'll do a deep dive into Microsoft Purview catalog and its capabilities. Looking at top use cases where Purview makes a significant impact. Then we'll look at best practices for developing a robust data catalog. Then I'll do a live demo of Microsoft Purview catalog in action, and then we'll wrap up with a Q&A session. So before everything, let's talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Royal Cyber. We are a IT consulting and digital transformation company specializing in services, solutions, and software. We have 20 plus years of experience, about 2,500 plus employees go globally, about 500 plus certified consultants. We have 10 plus offices operating globally in 5 continents and about 600 plus clients across the globe. Right. So moving on, why data catalog, right? So data is, as we know, growing exponentially, but many organizations struggle to make sense of it, right? So without a proper system in place, teams, as we know, they waste a lot of time searching for data. There are duplicate efforts involved, and worse, it's very difficult to make decisions based on outdated or incorrect information. Right? So here a data catalog actually serves as an organized inventory of all available assets, right? So ensuring users can quickly find and trust the data that they need. Um, just to give an example, right? Think of it as a well-indexed library. If you walk into a library where books are scattered everywhere with no labels, finding the right book would be very frustrating, right? So data catalog sort of brings order to this chaos by tagging and categorizing data sets, making them easily discoverable. But it's not just about accessibility. Governance and compliance are also, major concerns with we've seen over the past few years there have been increasing regulations like GDPR, HEPA, CCPA, right? So in these cases, businesses must track where sensitive data is stored and who has access to it. And so a good catalog sort of ensures compliance by maintaining metadata, setting policies, and monitoring data usage. Another benefit is fostering collaboration. Different teams, whether in marketing, finance, operation, need access to the same data sets, right? So a well-maintained catalog sort of provides this common ground, reducing silos and ensuring that everyone is working with the same reliable information. Finally, as organizations adopt AI and automation, right, high quality, well organized data becomes very, very critical, right? So AI models depend on clean, governed data, and this ensures that data scientists have access to the right data sets without compromising on security or compliance. Moving on, again, what is a data catalog? Just think of it as a master directory of your organization's data, right? Like a library catalog You'll find books by title, author, subject. Same applies to data catalog, helps you locate data sets across various systems. And it sort of does this by organizing metadata, right? Especially, the descriptive information about your data, such as where it's stored, what it contains, how it should be used. So all that is done by a data catalog. So a well-structured data catalog uh, just categorizes information through tags, classifications, relationships. For example, if a business analyst is looking for customer transaction data, right, instead of sifting through countless databases and spreadsheets, they can search in the catalog using relevant keywords, and they can find it, they can discover it very easily. Right. Another key aspect is a data lineage, which tracks the movement of data across systems, right, from its origin to various transformations and usage points. This is particularly again useful for compliance and auditing. Imagine a scenario where an incorrect revenue report is generated, and without data lineage, it would be very difficult to trace where the error occurred, right? So uh, if you have a data catalog handy, you can pinpoint exactly which data set was used and whether any transformation were applied incorrectly, right? So lastly, access control also ensures that right people have access to the right data. Not every employee should be able to see financial records or customer PII, right? So with role-based access, permissions are enforced so that sensitive data remains protected while still being accessible to those who need it. In short, to summarize, its data catalog acts as a single source of truth for all your organization's data assets, breaking down silos, improving efficiency, and sort of enabling better decision making across teams. Moving on, just to give you a high-level overview of Microsoft Purview, it's a comprehensive solution. It's uh, designed to manage, protect, and derive value from data across the organization, and it focuses on three main areas, right? Data security. It helps protect the sensitive data wherever it resides, and whether it be on the cloud or on-prem or across devices. um, Data governance, it provides tools to understand, organize, and manage your data assets in a unified manner, making it easier to govern your data effectively. And then, of course, risk and compliance. Here, it helps to identify data risks and manage regulatory compliance requirements, providing a peace of mind that your data practices are secure and compliant, right? So, what makes Purview stand out is that it's designed for many stakeholders, the security teams, data analysts, compliance officers, and even legal teams. And all of them can collaborate, and you have a comprehensive security and governance posture. Right. So moving on, you know, the top business use cases for Purview Catalog, right? In today's data-driven world, organizations are facing many challenges, right, to manage their data efficiently. Um, you know, we see so many examples where data is scattered across multiple platforms, right, like cloud services, Azure, AWS, GCP, on-prem databases, and SaaS applications, right, making it very difficult to search, find, and use data effectively. So here, Microsoft Purview helps catalog or rather solve this issue by acting as a centralized data catalog, bringing all these data assets together in one place. Right? So this improves discoverability, ensuring compliance with different regulations and enabling better governance. Right? For example, companies take an example of companies going through mergers and acquisitions. Right? So they struggle to integrate different data systems, leading to inefficiencies and consistencies. Right? So Purview kind of streamlines this whole process by classifying, standardizing, and organizing data across merged organizations, right? It also helps with cost optimization. We have many companies, unknowingly storing redundant or outdated data. It sort of drives up the storage expenses, and Purview kind of helps identify these inefficiencies, ensuring that business store only relevant and up-to-date information. Right. So additionally, for companies operating across, you know, again, many different environments, ensuring consistent data policies and security is very important. So a unified governance approach kind of helps resolve this issue, right? So um, to summarize, Microsoft Purview acts as a one-stop solution for data discovery, compliance, cost management, governance, helping organizations make better data-driven decisions. Moving on, when it comes to AI, right? AI is the um, talk of the town at the moment, right? So when it comes to AI, having the right data is just as important as having the right model, right? So AI models require very large data sets, but ensuring data quality, relevance, and compliance is a major challenge, right? So the Power Catalog helps by tracking, classifying, and governing AI training data, allowing teams to work with trustworthy and well-documented data sets. Right? Just to give you an example here, in healthcare, right, AI models must use de-identified patients' data to comply with HIPAA regulations, while in finance, AI-driven fraud detection models rely on well-governed data sets for accuracy. Right? Another key aspect is data lineage tracking. AI teams need to understand where data comes from, how it's transformed, and how it impacts the final model, right? So it's a very good use case for a catalog. Again, um, end-to-end, this lineage tracking sort of makes it easier for industries like manufacturing to ensure that your predictive maintenance models are based on accurate IoT sensor data, and similarly for marketing teams to validate customer sentiment analysis models, right? So um, AI regulations, again, they're tightened under frameworks like GDPR, AI Act, CCPA. So organizations must explain now how AI decisions are made, right? So Purview enables these audit trails, making AI-driven decisions more transparent, which is crucial in areas like credit approvals and medical diagnosis tools. Right? Lastly, uh, you know, we must take fairness as a serious consideration. Right? A system trained on um, unbalanced or non-representative data can lead to unfair hiring decisions or biased financial approvals. So Purview kind of helps identify these data sets, enforce policies, and promote fairness, ensuring that the systems are operating ethically. So, in to summarize, Purview lays the foundation for reliable, transparent, and fair AI systems that businesses can now trust. Right. So, moving on, let us now try to understand the Purview catalog based on five data governance principles. Right. So, let's start with data access. Right. So one of the core principles of data governance is ensuring the right people have the right level of data access while maintaining security and compliance. Right. So um, I've seen so many times, right, that organizations often struggle to balance openness and control. Right. So too much restriction, what it does is it slows down innovation, while too much access creates security risks. So Microsoft Purview helps achieve the balance by enforcing catalog access policies, ensuring that only authorized users can view or modify specific data assets, right? For example, finance teams should have access to financial reports, while marketing teams should be restricted from sensitive financial data, but they should be allowed to analyze customer insights. Okay, so another key aspect is critical data elements. Purview helps organizations identify and protect high risk data such as PII or confidential business metrics. Um, Additionally, Purview provides a glossary, right, which ensures consistent terminology and definitions across departments, reducing misunderstandings and improving collaboration. By implementing these governance practices, what businesses can do is they can streamline access, maintain compliance, and enhance data-driven decision making without compromising the security aspect. Right. So the first principle of data governance, data access is kind of handled very well by Microsoft Purview. Moving on, the second principle is data curation. Right, data curation is all about organizing, annotating, and publishing data in a way that makes it easily accessible, reusable, and secure. Right, so without proper curation, data can quickly become inconsistent, outdated, or difficult to locate. Right, so making it harder for all the teams to make informed decisions. So here, the Purview catalog addresses this by structuring data into governance domains, ensuring that different departments, finance, HR, or sales can manage the data efficiently while adhering to company-wide policies, right? So one critical aspect of Purview catalog is data products, which allows businesses to group um, related data or related data sets for specific use cases, right? So this helps to make data more actionable. For example, a retail company might create a sales insights data product that includes customer purchasing trends, regional performance, and inventory forecasts, all packaged together for easy access, right? So additionally, there is Purview also incorporates health actions such as monitoring data quality and expiration, so organizations can proactively address issues like data degradation or security risks. So by implementing strong data curation practices, businesses can ensure that data remains well organized, high quality, and ready for analytics and AI applications. So this ultimately enables more efficient operations and smarter decision making. So um, the third important principle is data discovery. We already spoke about it, so I'll not dive much into it. But again, with data spread across multiple systems, valuable time searching for the right data sets, it's leads to inefficiencies and delays, right? So this is where data discovery becomes very essential. Purview provides, again, the unified data catalog option, allowing users to easily search and browse for related data assets, right? So they can simply search for example, right, if a let's talk about a sales team needing quarterly revenue reports, right? They can simply search for sales FY19 and instantly find the related data sets in Power BI or Azure Blob storage, right? So rather than navigating through multiple platforms or relying on IT support. So Purview also enables self-service access requests. It sort of instead of going through a long approval chain, users can request access directly within the platform. It reduces friction while also maintaining security, right? Um, Here, organizations can empower employees to make faster data-driven decisions while keeping the governance and compliance part of it intact. Right. So third principle, very important, data discovery. Moving on to data health. Again, data health is crucial for maintaining high quality, secure, and well managed data across an organization. Right. So poor data health can cause, you know, um, inefficiencies, right? And it can give birth to unreliable analytics, right? So, and this is often caused by missing classifications, um, unassigned ownerships, or outdated data sets, right? So, with Purview Catalog, it helps in maintaining data quality standards through structured health management, ensure that organizations have visibility to their data estate health, right? So, uh, for example, businesses can monitor whether sensitive classifications are correctly applied, ensuring that personal or financial data is properly labeled and protected. Um, so, ultimately, having a strong data health strategy means organizations can reduce risk, enhance operational efficiency, and maximize the value of their data assets, right? So, uh, the fifth principle is data understanding. Of again, understanding data is just as important as having access to it. Without clear descriptions, definitions, objectives, data can be misrepresented or underutilized, right? So, uh, Microsoft Purview Catalogs ensures that there is data understanding by structuring information into data products, glossary terms, and OKRs, or objectives and key results. Right. So again, just to give an example, glossary terms uh, define uh, commonly used business concepts like B2B, customer ID, or profit margin, ensuring that every department kind of speaks the same data language, right? So data products such as sales revenue insights or CRM data help package related data assets for specific business functions, making them easier to locate and use, right? So by registering and mapping the structured data into the Purview Data's catalog and data map, it helps organizations create a well-governed, easily understandable data environment that supports analytics, decision making, and AI applications. Uh, this reduces a lot of confusion, and it improves collaboration and ensures that every data asset is accurate, meaningful, and ready for use. So, moving on, you know, um, how to build a good catalog and what are the development best practices, right? So let's go through these development best practices. Um, before we can manage and analyze data, we need to understand it in a business context, right? So one of the best practices in catalog development is to start with a business glossary, which is a standard set of definitions for key terms like customer ID, revenue, or product category, right? This ensures that business users and technical teams are kind of speaking the same language when working with data, right? So, for example, um, CLV is customer lifetime value, and mapping it to customer underscore transactions table in a SQL database ensures there is consistency across teams, right? Once we establish a business glossary, uh, the next step is to categorize data by business domains such as finance, HR, sales, and marketing. This approach helps stakeholders easily find and access relevant data sets without searching through unrelated data sets. Right? For instance, the finance domain might include invoices and revenue reports, while the sales domain would contain leads and opportunities. Right? So by structuring um, data under well-defined business domains, we not only improve discoverability and governance, but also ensure that data is owned, maintained, and used correctly within its respective business function, right? So moving on, again, one of the biggest barriers to effective data usage is unintuitive naming and poor classification, right? If um, business teams are looking for customer transactions, but the data set is labeled as TBL underscore cust underscore trans underscore V1, they won't find it easily, right? So this is why business friendly naming conventions are very crucial. So instead of cryptic technical labels, organizations should use clear descriptive names like customer transactions table, so that both business users and technical teams can quickly identify relevant data sets, right? Beyond naming, tagging and classification also plays a critical role. Um, so it plays a critical role because it makes it more it makes the data more discoverable, right? Business users need to way to search and identify data based on its purpose, whether it's revenue data, customer insights, or regulatory reporting, right? So what the Microsoft Purview catalog does is it allows organizations to apply metadata tags and automate classification, ensuring that sensitive information like PII or financial data is labeled and protected appropriately. For example, a data set on customer spending patterns might be tagged with marketing insights, high value customers, and annual revenue trends, right? Making it very easy for teams to find and use. So overall, by standardizing naming conventions and tagging, organizations can enhance searchability, improve collaboration, and ensure data governance aligns with business needs. Um, to truly sort of harness the power of data, organizations will also connect business processes to data assets in a very meaningful way, right? So simply having data isn't enough. Teams need to understand which data sets are relevant to specific workflow. For example, in retail business, uh, customer churn analysis is very critical, but without linking the right data sources such as customer feedback surveys and subscription cancellation data, the analysis lacks accuracy, right? So by mapping data sets to a real world business processes like order processing or revenue forecasting, teams can gain better insights, reduce redundancy, and improve overall efficiency. Right? Another crucial step is assigning business owners and data stewards. It's the people part of data cataloging, right? So every data set should have a clear owner responsible for its accuracy, maintenance, and governance. And the finance team, for instance, right, should oversee the quarterly financial reports, while marketing teams should manage customer behavior analytics. Now, this what it does is the structure of having clear ownership and clear stewardship ensures that there is accountability. It prevents data mismanagement and it enhances trust in the data being used. Right? So when data is correctly mapped and assigned, organizations then can create a well-governed, business-aligned data ecosystem that drives better decision making and operational success. Um, Again, the second part of catalog development best practice is to unlock business value, right? Um, a well structured data catalog isn't just a tool for organizing data, right? It's a strategic asset that drives business value, right, and compliance and efficiency. To maximize its impact, data cataloging should also be aligned with business goals, right? What is your business goal? Regulatory compliance, AI/ML adoption, data-driven decision making, right? Instead of trying to catalog everything at once, it's better to kind of focus on, or prioritize high value uh, data assets based on business needs. For example, let's say a financial institution, right, may use Purview to track customer transaction data for fraud detection and PCI DSS compliance, right? Another key aspect of unlocking business value is improving data discoverability that we spoke about, right? So um, again, one of the benefits, right, a business ready data catalog should also enable self-service access, so that users can find the data that they need quickly. Uh, right. So, imagine a retail company where product managers and marketers need customer purchasing trends. If they can easily access and filter this data in Purview, they can make faster data-driven decisions, right? So very important to unlock uh, business value, and very important to align data cataloging with business goals, right? So again, you know, trust in the data is everything, right? So um, if there is no data lineage tracking, or you cannot visualize where data comes from, how it's transformed or how it's used, then it's going to you know uh, cause misinformed decisions, right? And it may give birth to business risks, right? So this is particularly crucial in industries like pharma, where tracking clinical trial data sources is required. It ensures regulatory compliance, uh, and in addition, lineage tracking. In addition to the lineage tracking, businesses must actively monitor data quality, flagging duplicates or inconsistencies before they create problems. So, um, Microsoft Purview also enables organizations to classify and protect data using sensitivity labels, right? So, ensuring that high confidential records such as patient data remain secure, and role-based access controls, right, help enforce restrictions, allowing only authorized personnel to access sensitive data sets. For example, a healthcare provider using Purview can classify patient records as confidential and limit access based on job roles, ensuring HIPAA compliance while preventing unauthorized access. Right. So by integrating data lineage, quality tracking, and security best practices, um, businesses can create a trusted, well-governed data environment that drives better decision making and innovation. Moving on, again, enhancing data. This is the this is the third best practice, which is enhancing data maturity, right? So it's a journey, right? An organization must assess where they stand and define clear goals for improvement. Many businesses start at the initial stage where data is siloed, ungoverned, and lacks uh, clear ownership. As they progress to the managed stage, they implement basic metadata tagging and access controls. The next step is standardization, where consistent governance policies um, ensure that data is managed effectively across teams. At the optimized stage, businesses sort of introduce automated classification, lineage tracking, and AI-driven insights. And at the final stage is the innovative stage. It enables full data democratization with self-service analytics and AI governance. Right? A key factor in achieving data maturity is improving metadata completeness and accuracy. Right? A data catalog is only valuable if it contains accurate, well-structured metadata. Right? So Microsoft Purview Catalog also helps automate metadata extraction from various sources like Azure, SQL, AWS, enforcing naming conventions and ensuring metadata quality through data stewards. It you know so again, understanding where data originates, how it flows, where it's used, all that is also possible um, through Microsoft Purview Catalog, right? So um, overall, uh, regularly reviewing lineage reports helps organizations identify bottlenecks, redundancies, and opportunities for process improvements, therefore ensuring that they make data-driven decisions with confidence. Right? So uh, again, achieving data maturity requires more than just technology. It demands strong governance, access control, and data-driven culture. Right? One key approach is a role-based access control, which grants permissions based on user roles, ensuring that only authorized users can access sensitive data. Right? So it actually allows for self-service analytics, allowing analysts, engineers, and data scientists to search, discover, and request access to datasets without IT bottlenecks. Right, so creating user personas such as data stewards, governance teams, and analysts helps define who interacts with Purview and how. And um, yeah, so this sort of helps in fostering a data-driven culture, right? And it sort of helps in um, establishing KPIs for data maturity, such as metadata completeness, data usage trends, catalog adoption rates. So all of this is very important to ensure that organizations are maximizing the value of the data, enhancing security, and driving better decision making, right? So and of course part of enhancing data maturity is to kind of making sure that teams are educated on Purview capabilities and governance best practices and their stewardship programs, right? So this kind of ensures that there is continuous learning, and the organization is sort of improving its data literacy uh, with every passing program, right? Okay, so let us now um dive into a short demo of the Microsoft Purview catalog, right? So okay, I'm just going to move to the demo environment. Okay, so here we are under Microsoft Purview portal, right? So uh, if I were to click on the solutions, I can see um, all the solutions within um, the Microsoft Purview portal, right? So just to give you some details about uh, each of these solutions, right? So AI Hub, it helps make it easier to manage and use AI across your organization. Audits sort of helps with tracking and logging data activities. So it makes it easier to manage and ensure compliance, spotting any potential issues. Communication compliance, we discussed it before. It helps with monitoring emails and chats for policy compliance and helps to catch and correct any inappropriate or rule breaking communications. Um, Compliance Manager provides tools to manage and track compliance with regulations. It guides you through the different compliance tasks and shows how well you're meeting with requirements. Uh, Data Catalog, uh, I'll be demoing this, but at a high level, it helps to uh, organize and manage information about your data, therefore making it more usable. Data lifecycle management helps with uh, managing data right from creation to deletion, helps uh, data when it's stored as well as deleted, and does all of it according to rules. Data loss prevention prevents sensitive data from being shared inappropriately, um, protects your confidential information, and helps avoid any data breaches. E-discovery sort of makes it easier to gather necessary information from different places for investigations or for legal cases. Um, Information barriers, it restricts data sharing between different teams and prevents conflicts of interest by uh, stopping sensitive information from being shared where it shouldn't. Protection, the information protection part of it kind of helps keep sensitive information safe, right? Helps with that information protection and ensures only authorized people can access it. Risks management monitors employee actions to spot potential risks, right? And records management, it ensures records are kept and disposed of properly, helping with compliance and organization, right? It manages records through its entire life cycle, right? So each of these different solutions are a webinar topic on itself, right? Over the course of next 1 year, we will go through each of these solutions in detail, right? And we will have demos um, to cover each of these different solutions to get a working understanding of how all of it works, as well as some best practices around it. Right? But for at a high level overview, I'd like to go into the data catalog uh, piece. I've discovered data from different sources. So if I were to go on to data assets and do a select star, right, show me everything that you have here, I can see that there are around 39 plus results. Now, these are called assets, right? Order processing, marketing, right? And then these are called the asset types, right? So order processing is an asset of business process asset type, and business process asset type is a child of the business asset type, right? So business contains, the business process is something that's more business in nature, right? And order processing is the asset. Similarly, um, marketing is an asset that is of a data domain asset type, and data domain asset type is a data asset, right? So, so this is how they are linked. So data domain contains marketing as an asset, right? So this is how we can look at it. So um, there is a possibility to filter it by asset type or the source that it originates from, right? So here, as we see, the different sources from which we have discovered these assets, are from, say, Azure Blob Storage, Data Lake Storage, Azure Files, or Azure Table Storage. So these are the source types that they originate from, right? So if I were to click on order processing, I can, we discussed earlier during the webinar that this particular when you can search for different assets and at the same time understand it better by the context or the metadata or the attribution it has, right? So for example, order processing is an asset which has been described here, so we can understand the description for it. There are no terms currently added for this particular order processing, but if we were to enrich it further, right? What's an order, right? So we can have glossary terms that talk to or link to this particular business process. Right? We can see that the status is candidate. That means um, this is its endorsement, right? So it's currently in the candidate status, but the objective is to go from candidate to accepted. If this business process was no longer used in future, then it can go to a deprecated status, right? So if I were to go to contacts, I can see that no experts are present for this particular business process, no owners, right? But it has one steward, right? So if I want to just add um, um, uh, myself instead of stewards as an owner for this business process, all I have to do is edit it, go here, delete it, and then add Prateek Nilkund here, right? So I can see myself under the owners section. And then if I want to enrich it, right, I can enrich it by adding more relations or changing the description and providing status. And I'm just going to go and give it an accepted status. So if I save it, now I can see that uh, right, order processing has a status of accepted. And if I go to contacts, it's Prateek is the owner now, right? So
Going back to the search result, right now, this is with respect to order processing, which is a business process. It has overview and contacts. But if I were to look at, say, a storage account, right? Azure storage account, like connections migration, right? I can see overview, properties, as well as contacts here, right? So under the properties section, we have the name, the qualified name, the resource group, the subscription ID, and the location for it. Similarly, if I go to contacts, I can see that there are no experts or owners here. Yeah, I can share the data, right? So all of this is possible within the data catalog portion. I can see the hierarchy for it. So if it was a column, then the hierarchy would have been something like a server contains, a database contains schema contains table contains column. So all that hierarchy would have been established here. But here I can see, so based on the type of the asset, uh, the metadata and the context for it can be customized, right? So going back to the search results, um, so there are about 39 search results here. Like most of it I see are the Azure storage accounts. And then there is a marketing data domain also. If I were to click on a marketing data domain, I can see again, there's an owner assigned, but it does not have a description or anything, right? So this is the data catalog, right? It has an overview section, discovery, a catalog management portion, and a health management portion as well, right?
Well, moving on to our offerings, right? So we've seen that organizations need structured guidance for data governance, compliance, and risk management. So our workshops and assessments sort of help teams maximize Microsoft Purview's capabilities, right? So we would do a workshop on like hands-on training where we cover best practices for compliance with GDPR, HEPA, and SOX. We also help teams implement Purview's governance features for data classification, tagging, and audit readiness. Right. So with respect to assessments, again, there's a data risk assessment where we evaluate security gaps, ensuring data is encrypted and properly classified, and that access is restricted. Right. So we also do data security and privacy assessment. Here we review privacy policies, security controls, and regulatory compliance to strengthen data protection strategies. Moving on, uh, we sort of help with uh, the POC as well, or proof of concept. This is sort of a hands-on way to test a Purview in a small environment or for a specific use case before full deployment, right? So think of it as a like a small pilot project, helping teams explore functionalities like data discovery, classification, and governance, all in a controlled setting. Right? We um, also do an Azure integration POC where organizations using services like Synapse and Data Lake, Data Fabric need um, Purview to um, work seamlessly with their existing ecosystem, right? So this POC will also demonstrate how Purview integrates with Azure, ensuring better data lineage tracking and governance across cloud platforms, right? We also help with solution architecture and design. So we realize that every organization has a unique IT landscape. So this service helps map how Purview fits into your existing cloud or hybrid architecture. And it's essential for companies that need a tailored governance strategy aligned with their data framework, right? Um, we also do architecture design sessions where, if you need a structured plan for Purview deployment, this session helps design a custom architecture, ensuring scalability, security, and compliance, all while optimizing costs, right? So, yeah, so these are our offerings. Now, let's move on to the Q&A session. We see that we have received a few questions, so let me just go through it one by one. Thank you.